Game 4 in the NBA Finals between the Bucks and the Suns. And the story is Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jalen Rose, 42 in Game 2, 41 in Game 3. He's been absolutely dominant. What can the Suns do to stop or slow down?
He was gone
Giannis.
knee deep. Once he did the freak with me, I don't know if they're going to be able to stop Giannis. See, the one thing about being a primary three-point shooting team, you're going to have your hot and cold days. If he continues to drive the basketball and play with force, I think he's going to get stronger as the series progresses. Here's why. He's actually making his free throws. Yep. That's going to give him more confidence to drive to the basket. And also, they don't have anybody in particular other than Ayton that can oppose the Greek freak if he's being aggressive. I ain't mad at the one leg fall away. I like that he added that. I'm not mad at him attempting 1 or 2 heat check threes. But when he decides that he's going to continue to drive the basketball and dunk with the left, dunk with the right, dunk with 2 hands, and then all of a sudden you get cutters. And he was doing backdoors to Bobby Portis, getting him a layup, getting other guys involved. And so this is the Giannis I think we're going to see for the rest of the series. But if you're DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns, you must find a way to keep the young fella on the floor. Your team looks dramatically different with him off the floor. In the previous game, he had like 18 points in like the first 15 or 16 minutes. Once he got in foul trouble, that's when Milwaukee went on their initial run. And at that point, the Suns were playing on their heels.
Exactly. They need to keep DeAndre Ayton on the floor, especially without Saric. Craig isn't 100%, so that means they're going to put in Frank Kaminsky, and no one can stop Giannis, but Frank Kaminsky definitely can't stop Giannis. They also need contributions from CP3 and Devin Booker, who were so good in Game 1 and Game 2 at home, but struggled a little bit in Game 3. Do you expect them to bounce back in Game 4?
I like what you did there, family, because you're right. They alternated 30-point games in Games 1 and 2. But the problem in Game 3, neither one of them cracked 20. If they're going to win this series, both of them have to be scoring, in particular on the road, where you're not going to get Mikal Bridges to also all of a sudden pop up and score 27 points. I appreciate, however, what Cam Johnson was able to do off the bench. That's something positive that they're going to be able to build on the road. But you're going to need Cameron Payne to push the tempo. You're going to need Jay Crowder to make shots from 3. But ultimately, your backcourt is what's going to drive this. And Book can't finish the last 5 minutes on the sideline unless they're up 25 and he's putting ice on his knees. It can't be because he was already struggling, only had 10 points, and Monty was trying to save him for the next game.
Yeah, see, I was very, very confounded by that decision to keep Book on the bench in the fourth quarter, especially because of the final schedule. There's multiple days off between Game 3 and Game 4, so the idea that he was resting for fatigue reasons doesn't really work for me. However, one of the reasons that CP3 and Book did struggle in Game 3 was Jrue Holiday. You know what Jrue Holiday is going to give you on the defensive end, but in Game 3, he showed up on the offensive end as well. Can they expect that in Game 4?
No hesitation. I think they can. And the threes that he made, in particular in the second half, Jacoby, were major. But let me go back to your comment about Booker finishing on the bench. Here's why you do that. You go to your star player and you say, I'm going to go small with CP and Cameron to see if we can force some tempo and get the game back under control, get us around 10, and then I'll go to you. The problem is they never made a run. If they would have made a run, he would have got back in the game. They just never made a run.
Yeah, they didn't make a run. And you talk about them pushing the tempo. The problem is when you push the tempo, the Bucks are great in transition, especially Giannis, and they will feast in transition if the Suns allow them to in Game 4.